answer that question when mommy say who say MPP for, you think that primary seat, how they are managing the primary seat, say oh my is serious for 2028, 2032 and beyond, and do you see that? I want say primary seat BB says now no na MPP miracle aboaje ka say oh we crowd and said I knew who NDC Fonka games. I understood. But I don't think the NDC Fonka games ever told Nanado any Alan Chemanting Alan Cash. That was when Alan Chemanting was Alan Chemanting. Now Alan Chemanting, but no say Alan Cash. Ewurade to say yes, Alan ye. In 2007, 2008, I did some work with Alan Chemanting, Joe Gate, ni Papa Uswankuma. I mean, I was in charge of multimedia media buying. You know, Obi person or political advertiser, you have to go through me to go to sales team and a marketing team at the time. So I did a lot of work with party for no here NDC headquarters. But 2008 elections, I was covering NDC headquarters, MPP headquarters, and electoral commission. No one else would say again. Say yes, elections in here. And it's elections so now you call time. I don't think that in the history of Ghana, election bet me as controversial as that election, but we've had very controversial elections too. 2016, very controversial. In fact, 2012 elections, they call friends Supreme Court, no my election petition, very controversial election. And 2020 elections, seeing that NIPA 8 FMU, you know, that was also a very controversial election. But 2028, now you won't be that Ghana in meme generation until that election there were both again. Now elections have to say yes. They got these primaries. And I do have what Tibia Canada Japan. I'll play you a picture of a video of Natoshi. Natoshi so I think between Baomiamo and Canada Japan camp and elections were upo between Ken and Baomia. Brian Champo Munina, Brian Champo and Catten himself or the test waters. But you see, to be fair, Brian Champo who shake it tables. Western region, when the videos to be from Western regions are what you say? Western region for not for the World Cup. Although Brian Champo free Western region of Eastern region, but Western region for not for Brian Champo World Cup. How to say omu feeling no. Omu feeling omu cast omu tuamana. Brian Champo to Benya squad. So me, I like what is going on because I mean, what you say? Brian Champo represent the new generation of politicians. Eba game, and it's a good thing about NDC MPP because if you look at NDC, so some of the young men omudi swaba. Ebini Omaniboama ya Bamo Wodina Apakaya Baba Fanuka Maniboama was in line to succeed President Mama. But even say I can't ever be to say Julo Debra. And you're bad cry on your old biasa or also on your young biasa. So he's cutting across between the two, between the old generation and the young generation. A wholesome MPP for issue no. The young people now, which is why Canada Japan candidate channel is also doing magic for MPP. Because Canada Japan, the chunk of a more supporting Canada Japan you use now. Osha Ghana voters register anymore. Omunkuta 10 million plus. And the MPP say Canada Japan we knew they must do a very solid work of bringing Canada Japan on board. Omunim no muye bibia na Canada Japan ko tietia na suti oni Canada Japan nye obi anim onye. Canada Japan no oya obi anim na no oya. Canada Japan didi atem obi anim odidi atem. But the plans so say, or you're charismatic, or you're energetic, he's able to pull crowd. And you can't talk about Canada Japan negative. I mean, almost did you matter me, where did you matter me? And your radio soon or the buy idea. But me, Canada Japan free tema. Me fear near okay 8 houses or so, do Canada Japan if you come to 12. And so me, I crowd didn't matter me, but I cannot even deny the fact that you can't say you're charismatic. Why I know who's a magnet or to meet your trade or to trim mantia. Or to trim mabawa, and because oye papa oye adoye, or chesika, or cheniema, and you know, you can't deny that young people don't pay no. You see, Canada Japan is the poor land bantam of cheddar. Cheddar to the boas and no managing who year. Cheddar will become like a combination of Canada Japan and President Kufo. I don't think that cheddar started and maybe I know you know. I thought cheddar, you are doing too much. Slow down. Cause who will future? This whole play game near cheddar. Whoa, not cheddar crying more than a lanchamanting. Cheddar, onya more than a lanchamanting. And the cheddar to no more to make a you do that when you you do feel alan cry, and you do feel alan lanchaman. Musalam textiles and garments. 2000 between 2005 and 2008 many Alan a year Juma sa. Me say 2007 Alan Jamante bepe candidate edino. Me na me running in media Musano. Ansa na adakabremu nyina aba picture nim. Say John I was doing his media by me. Bese 3 am na fe na me free cantonment to say airport e bese akọ multimedia. Me papa oswankoma your friend say Jogati, yes. And some advertise between all the political parties NDC be advertise me na me kwaje banam de abrem multimedia. Me na me kwaje ban. Say do re bia. Ade advertise bo mo 2 am be share. E was me call. Go si chum ni sika. And that's why our abutre can go to chum. Na dey no e call ni. Onu oni abutre ka. Kwaje bra 2 am go fia kwaje bra. Just me kwa na me kwaje ba. Share. Enti Alan me Alan, but you see Alan here and there mistakes here and there be yeah kan and go omontie, but you see na no hopes in ba program to hopes in can they hopes in say say United Party no omate no omo be take all the errors plus and minus somebody a new party no na 2028 e be thereof 2032 e be there enti na make us a check dan to no bo a he gets support and funding no he can succeed in getting second the Japan vote no any kufo and penifo type of vote no you know all that they are doing is solid but this primary is where Allah and then I say now because she cross a carpet from Baomia e back Canada Japan camp and I'm say eja dem now that she a tema against tema ono so yes and cranfo no me typical traditional cranfo no mujirite and cranfo have not been able to receive or that they've not gotten what they deserve from NDC MPP and cranfo because a crap your politicians are we are legit free honor yen share den yan tiny bia yeah we just said Emma I am say make say yera first saying former attorney general but still speaker running mate and great encouraging see now Toshi is bringing that following to your friends Canada Japan and knowing that now Toshi was in Baomia's camp that was a blow and one about Baomia camp talk of a year address for aba and address to style bia man Canada Japan address I don't blame address okay what is address for fire Canada Japan and yet just because of politics and baby daddy nikunu no Canada Japan ni address for banter no and you na 100% politics yo because he me time me who address for yare ye no now ye TikTok na nya nani o na yare na ma address for yes no and Canada Japan knows this I am yes asem we make because I shouldn't mean my details of say or yare ni but I know say na nya address for ani and I know the TikTok no and obi one vulnerable state that is when you expect to say and then you be akwanya baby daddy anya ba akopɛ na no one ne won kola mienu and ka say Canada Japan be hye na chi knowing that address for kru no ware no na no ya no ware no onim na bakosem wo Canada Japan the onim address for bakosem ti won say address for other power for mu a e wa abonten ka wo Canada Japan na ka wo bekata na da paso wo na ka protecting the dignity wo na ka protecting address for reputation say the ekoso wo TikTok na address for ye nye nani a no you okay a onye saa na ebibinti e na oye saa enti adwasafo so awo enti ni nyina ka ho na eye ne saa nti onko no hwe no da bi Canada Japan by UTV no be fire no that is where I thought Canada Japan crossed the line enti asese kokora man fere so obetare ho ne so awon so fere so odi asa wa bebe pia na tiko eno na adwasafo ye no enti adwasafo nya so oye campaign ama ba omi akeka opeka ba omi asem at a point kwa to she was being considered for running mate but oye young enti omo say yes wonanim but adwansafo ponche Canada Japan because onim se Canada Japan tama ono adwansafo ada pa ada abonten ken wa mekata no nti ho de adwansafo cause me I will not fault adwansafo ho na first one na Canada Japan ye wanya de but me say it doesn't change the fact that Canada Japan and a teaching youth no ba MPP nti samu pe youth wa na no UK MPP chairman ka sen ke be ya omuni mienu nyina nkasa na ka make Baomia the candidate maka Canada Japan ya running mate mo anya sa ade the way ade na iko no de mame bo video ni che adwa support to guy wa fire no style bia bi camera we so den na ya na tete me sa na me say heat no so na fe bibia shake ya vibrate style bia bi enti en ko adwa support babo na atoshi de no so akere mo
edu na edu ama wai Dr. Mahmood Baomia me come control Ena me ka se mbi na nto obi achi me ye politician And Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, or your politician. Kugudu. Minister delegates, baby, who could do a polling station executive. And I will hear a polling station executive. Mr. Obian Kranage. Obian Kranage or politics. Obian Kranage. Iti Honorable Ken Kranage. Okwani ambition. Mesumi Kranage. Mesumi Yaman Manosem. Na Manosem na Obia Ayeno. Obia ko baby and who bad. Mesedi Obia ko baby and who bad. Dr. Boacheka so kan sembi. Maintain Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Menene womba pore ahofefo mienu. Ba mu abaako e na oba abaako. Enti maintain Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. But your family and friends and I who go do? Messi ya if you na ya balo, who go do? Who go do? Patro Muntiamio. Opposition na yaba na yabe fie no. E wo se yabe sua nyansa o. Ya kotena ban mu ye family and friends. Any ye ne. Iti amanyo semu a ye wo party level no. Me Aduasafo, me se me nya den. Esan se ye kwa ban mu koye bi, e bo aye ya na aka mo aye. Na me mamu example bi. Me study contested to be MP in the year 2007. Atene we di amanyo semunimu a wokuo mu abesinne. My serving as member of parliament for 12 years. My deputy majority leader. My minister for procurement. My minister for gender. It may be some say. Mensomoye. And Honorable Kennedy Agyapong so ayane die meboa. Menka se onu na ebefa. Na mom ye assume se wafa. Na wakotena Jubilee House. Na mimi CV eda ho. Yaka CV asa wo kopa adwuma. Na monhwe adwuma amaye. Ene somo amasom oman yi ene mama nyoku. Na se dru ho. Na obetimi apemanimu aka se oba menene wo mamienu. Ma appoint no as minister for BB. Ejabeto Ghana. Who go do? And the Kennedy Agyapong, me na umi no. Oh yeah. Into my political career is at stake. My future is at stake. And my future is with Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud.
Aduasafo no. E ho de Aduasafo kan ya when intro. O se Kennedy Agyapong ba on man appointment. And truly because there's a bad blood between them. On one kasa clarify say on time Kennedy Agyapong, which I know so on time Kennedy Agyapong the only one cry me, but there's bad blood between them. And no matter what Aduasafo be obi any say there's bad blood between the two of them. And he said the uncle can say I say Aduasafo be say on Kennedy Agyapong sheda any asem or supported by me. I think that what they are politically no. Aduasafo should not have explained it the way I explain it because yes sir. It's making Baumia rather look bad. Say Baumia bema oppose unti. And I will can say no. But I can say, wow, we are delegate no. Wow, we are delegate no. Second day Japan ba ebia on foul. What I say, but don't say it's a me because then you are making it personal. And I'm making it personal. Delegate not to one OT or no before say, oh, you're selfish. It's in our kind of let's say, who position our benyenti and we are against Kennedy Japan. But I think that you are only one column, you know. You stood a very good, you are in a very good position, but I say, aka Canada Japan me na da sori anyema won kura mienu minim ni suban ni suban we na enye intima monto ma no we anyway na enye we anyway na moto ebahamo. That is what I think that Adwa should have communicated. But just Ubeka say, oh, Canada Japan on mommy post. Now our mommy post, my political career is at stake. I think that one you were sounding selfish. I don't think that one is making you look good. That one is not making you look good at all because Baumia position now oh making no. What I say, Baumia is positioning himself as Obi Oye all round, Obi Oye objective, Obi Oye in the policy no will be no respect of persons. So if that is the case, they make it look like you see, I make they be a politicians over here communications. So say I am media, Juma channel, and I may advise one card drive. You don't as somehow can you solid, but present it in a different language. Communicate it differently. Then you will reach the delegate. Because to be a delegate, not just I do better me to my bow me and I will post one. I meant to. You see, but who person would say? When I wouldn't Canada Japan and a dash, sorry, I won't call him, Bosumi and sound column, you know. No strength in any weakness in here, and by his weakness, no, do not vote for Canada Japan. That is what she wanted to communicate. But she ended up making her job more difficult than they was saying to me, you know. You see, but I'm saying, say, this Canada Japan here, I will show you video of a year first, and I thought she saw fire a year first, Baumia so style there, of course, now I thought she saw every Baumia camp. It's in I thought she saw around and I say, what could say Ashanti region, Baumia, basa. The argument that Nato she is making in Ashanti region is also that there be Baumia so same fata. Ain't more to ma Baumia. What I said, Nato she so same wo. And the ama Baumia in Ashanti region said the address of also. She wanted to say mo for a phrase saying Canada Japan, and but she didn't communicate her message well. She did not communicate her message well. And the address of Sabra because my whole video of Yera Quating in response to address of no. Ono aba bontia ba because address of Kanya or more because Ken Baswa. All my family and friends. Yes, I was saying on no wunti. No a better position or more, and that's spot on communication. What I said, I mean, go and quite and credit and corresponding. Mammy Van call a friend saying a friend a brand champion camp.
Mami fete, mazuko, mami tene bae, mazuko, emo mari teresa e, chemio, nana te diazio, susuni eluao, nana pamo. Nana Mosheneao, Amademao, Bemasuko, Nana Tajasio, Susuni Eluao, Mami Fete, Mazuko, Mami Tenebae, Mazuko, Emo Mari Teresa e, Chemio, Nana Tajasio, Susuni Eluao, Nana Pamo, Mechichibe Mulio, Basi Ayajo, Oyaledia Amalio, Nyamila, Wajini, Ejabokao, Nana Wajini.
Dr. Brian Champion, I didn't know Western region to say Musa on there. Makacha mono no target 2032. Nenia brace 2032 no. Bra Baumia no ni ade nyina o moye mre no because Baumia okowe ya. I don't think Baumia can make an argument because of Musa fan ko bi 2032. Say MPP for enforce it. I'm more winning this election and about me last year. No, Dr. Brian Champion, you can clearly see if you do the analysis say why or targeting the target no any 20 a year 32. Now 2028 need you say anybody's game. It can go anyway. Maybe we're not touching there, and I'm trying to get not touching there. No, not say mama Baumia. I make us a say 1 month today from Western region all the way to Ashanti region or say mama Baumia say man confront to ma Baumia. Na ni nyina I think Gideon Boako so say ma okokan ya etia na touch to kan bi. And now we Gideon Boako 73 one man and say abronya so attack n'atɔhye paa ɛna ama n'atɔhye so ani abere sɛ ɛneɛ saa deɛ papa nyɛ hwee deɛ a bɔne no so nyɛ hwee ɔno so kɔ all out enti ɔno so ɛbɛfa ya no cylinder biara bi and this is where the problem is the problem a kɔfa wei nyinaa aba enti mankɔbere n'atɔhye so kuro deɛ nea na ɔno so ɛbɛbere yɛfrɛ sɛ Bawumia so kuro enti Ashanti region deɛ menim kyɛ sɛ adwuma a n'atɔhye I don't know kyɛ sɛ wayere no ho afa ya no cylinder biara bia cry just say and because last election no she was almost as Bawumia almost like a running mate to Bawumia no feel or war from Bawumia company adenya asem ketwa enti ana ye ne first Jude and Ghana money Mr. Boache aka Ghana Kodongo Kaya no so betwetwen enkomo na ya hwe ni nyina na ehu se de ensem no etie we'll be looking into details all the issues now for this MPP primary saba amana akwakoye very critical elections very critical elections I'm say obia edin no wajibu look at all the issues like question but increase lighting na me why na as a lighting no aye dark we'll go into all that me person me transfer na to video say that mo be hu say nyem me na ma ha mani na me kan wo betina na wo ka say nkofo say o wa ha wani na kan nyem na ma ha mani in fact wa fire Bawumia and I'm ka say once what ade na Ashanti region other places in every day be okwa of fire I want to show you people what mama me ma imumre mu ne hwe preliminary comment on Adwasafo ne Kennedy Japan issues ya akwaje goma ko gukwate so respond ya onu so dia basa Kennedy Japan ba anya de obema no Adwasafo position bia Jude mama good evening ni akwa baba jasu media so
Xavier, good evening. Patrick Michelle, no what's here for you now.
What do you make
to make us okay.
What do you make of Adwasafo now going after Kennedy Japan, knowing of new history? They say after no holds bad. Where you name also be kutana again. What the menene ya say. The fact only Kennedy Japan one man say baby a Kennedy Japan one chenchine uncle but we share the entirety of the video. They said you can say it is Kennedy Japan's win is a threat against their interest and their political career. No? What do you make of that?
But I think I'm not paying me who video no and not MS kakrasa but even to the point and I will the way Anna honorable address Safo Etremu say Kennedy eba onya position near you na say mama dwene my na kakrasa ene say as I denka I say oh cassette here honorable Kennedy Japan by in a way inadvertently you are campaigning for him because the man has always been preaching say on yet family and friends or say we in a year because Kennedy account on several platforms so we in a year or so in a day or no all my family and friends as I in a year now opposition now yeah you be me atwatu so this is what the man has been preaching so to say or you see sa example there I'm not meeting and I just was like maybe or you see example for the cancer man person can but to come back to the fact that I think Adwasafo honorable Kasasa I think that drew a very critical part of the campaign. Wow, with the politics you've sat in strategic meetings, you know that this is straight strategic move. Honorable Kennedy Japan has been silent. He has been very, very quiet. I'm not trying to be provoking in fact. The Faha and Krabia be dinner term and fact now Bronya be dinner term and fact no one classmate Atachia Abeke Kansem and fact. It's like the weakness of Kennedy Japan, as most people know, and they say Obeshele before na Obeba, no Baba Casa, Baba to Jagum. And no, Obeya as a Nipa Bebre and you're comfortable with. Nipa Bebre Kennedy Asampa, and there's no doubt about it. Me, I'm too, I said, was can make me boss Yalan. But I have a lot of respect for Kennedy Japan. Nipa Bebre Penasam. But what makes people uncomfortable with Honorable Kennedy Japan? It should be a general Bekikagum. And it is a me and I'm a strategic meeting as ya. Nipa bang and obetima babon tia, obetima babe kasa. It can get some kind of response from Honorable Kennedy Japan.
So you are saying about me
Let's-
team no was being strategic by using Agyapong to attack Baumia.
BBI timing, BBI strategy. This is not just a mistake. And we are getting to the end of December very soon. The see January more campaign or back and like you're saying, Honorable Natushi has been, throwing also money, the jobs and everything, But Sebia, how do you get Honorable Kennedy Agyapong to come out and speak? How do you get him to go into that as it makes people uncomfortable? Because I know the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong lose votes. So okay, so a few weeks ago, we show may commend Nipa or run Kennedy campaign, and now Honorable Charles this Bisu in charge of the campaign. I was saying that they are doing a very good job. So me cry me and then who said Honorable I UTV or UTV interview. Me cry and Kameda Kamin Kwanka interviews in Kwanyai and a UTV interview. I mean one through a UBR there.
Why you want a interview? Kwaku and I said,
Kennedy Agyapong Ankasa.
Kennedy Agyapong.
Medeka interviews so crowd and onjai. No ma ne guys kwatemone kobiamo ne the guys your moye interviews ne nkoswanya no onye ne on the ground campaign, because the strategy is once you get Kennedy to start speaking and start blasting, you will lose votes.
It's not.
Why be while you're trying a classmate, you try a bronya, you try we will be anti why be now to say Obabe Casa. And some honorable address Safakan, it be more aid to crack. And Odi Matem and Mekra me the baby mama na Odi Matema now what or your bar only more baby on for one year. You see those kind of things. These are the kind of things that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong tell, but Bible say no. But so far so good. He hasn't reacted. I mean, I'm sure that who video no, but his handlers are doing a very good job. I think it's a strategy now. The other side that person use and it hasn't worked, and I hope that it doesn't work basically.
Okay. Question my memory there can say it's very strategic on the part of Baumia, because Ken using Adwa Safono say Ken campaign what Baumia camp until last minute so decided strategically almost said up say Yanfa Adwa Sapo nimna kosi sebi o sebi ni pioto Yanfa no me finish a friends Kennedy Agyapong. Do you also believe that strategy say no Baumia camp ne nana?
Okay, yeah, sure. Say, and then let's start this auto bullet. But I want to make a
Yatunka o camera na freezy. Ndu jina baby ana wona de anka bebo.
But I want to make a what to make a
Yatunka pa, yatunka.
And then yes, Auntie Adwa, let's start this auto bullet. Emma Honorable Ken Agyapong. So from time to time, anytime one person almost score some political score, no more use. I think the same thing also happened during the previous campaign last year. First of my main salute na minchia me minua my Jude. And we here for ne Agyapong in us. And this time I didn't be very critical. You see, they are using all their arsenals. Young kind who say, but unlike Honorable Kenna, Onwankasa, which Jim saw your campaign, which Dr. Baumia side na, I bet the establishment, in a campaign they see organized. So there will be some of the public antics, some of the campaign messages, and some of the body language from the followers of Dr. Baumia and his campaign team. They do not necessarily come from Dr. Baumia.
Okay.
What may I say? A team, personal, as we are looking at it, there are some ministers, there are some MPs, almost a bomb pied and then say, hey, Honorable can buy any you. It's not like they don't admit, it's not like they don't accept. Say, Honorable Ken is the obvious for this country. Not necessarily the MPP. You get my point. Honorable Ken, the body language, they were yen and your from infancy. Or sorry, I'm a patron, you may not twin, and it's a gun, I bed, yakoyanim. Oh, yes, yamu bino, yes, sumo, your spirit in the honorable can move. Or travel around. Fiti Accra ko ascend eh Oshe onna otineka mu Oshe lagoon na ewo weja a nsuo da ho yantam yentumi yene hwe okọ kakra no hu traffic ewo kaso na adwin na bom. You see, and somebody like that will begin to ask himself questions say na before no your problem and answer them. And it is evident in all his public pronouncements. It is evident in all his campaign messages. Oh, Oda
And
anya
do you think that
NPP
message is no a core ground and for so muntina? Now, Baumia can't be used. First and foremost, I'm better or answer whether or not only Judy I didn't say. Baumia Campano is using a Joseph against a Canaan.
may support Jude 100% or make a statement to say, and around this time, money follow
Interview.
interviews. Yes, and then me share that follow it. I follow the interview, even though I'm besting out. Do you get it? But we are there, a human being full of blood, born of a woman. When you are being provoked to the extreme, and in law, there's a defense known as provocation. What me I say? Obi provoke wa na ukukuni pakrana. Sometimes ubet me afa onwedi using the defense of provocation. And a political provocation, I a dangerous change, especially looking at honorable Kenny position. Normally, in the anger, no, is not from the messages and the things they do. Oshe nipana, who's a common message be said. Sometimes nipana okuno, and ya we yasa over dani wechi. Uwe buponko no washa say, hey, hu nipa direct pa no washa se kind. That is where honorable Ken's pain is. Almost every single person obaba out. Ebedi no wa grono. Eyo obi ono ankasa wate ne bottom sika o. E de abo omo.
And
Not
all
now.
parties and utterances justified. And they said a Jude can I just have to say no problem na umi no we didn't attempt that. You are saying that justified.
Hello.
Hello, question me busa say. I just have an argument back over
Uh-huh.
here. All can I say ono kra no one can one kra me no kra no. Why any that? I be saying say also can ne outburst thing na first by provocation. It is I don't have to we didn't attempt that. I don't have to provoke anything or anything.
Exactly. Oh. And I mean, my explanation is provocation, it is not coming from the things they say. This is the idea about count. But obi a upa mado upa nyoma mayama uwiase. Now to me ba public. Ebe kumenima say, this is the time I need your help. After so many years of being there for you. I can't remember when Michael Okoye Jr., the whole world knew said na in the 2020 COVID time Masa Besha Brandon pa Domico Abenya almost started for Atomic Junction, Medina. Kopie Pokuyase. Everywhere you Michael Okoye. Everywhere was Michael Okoye. Ne papa so was Speaker of Parliament at the time. Now, say before election, the father was the speaker before 2020 elections. Yeah, 2 years and we about 2020. So the father was the speaker of parliament, and then he had also gone to India or wherever as a high commissioner or discovery. So everybody knew say Michael Okoye ebe winning. That time no so no COVID no mukaya na adwa safo eja any seats. Akoshe USO. Did you get the point? And then Okoba, and also Oya falling out with MPP. But sir, honorable can say, no, Obia menena oba party, mean to mean tenemechi and famano. O Jani Oyena last minute of a miracle. Edema Adwa. And this is the same person and on platform. see, I'm for the language in an okay, and no balance in the kakra. To me, make you pronouncements, and yes, I'm a time honorable Ken. First, and then a raw deal last year election, and then a raw deal. But when it here, or policy in the kakra, and so still, your friend kill me softly. Oh, no, yes, or yeah, human face something. Honorable attach here, yes, a beer or any mate keke. On one nimadia behind the scenes, why the amano. Abronye, behind the scenes, on madio, why the amano. And the okaka you may now, boma. Na, why to provoke? Angana person, and a more so no. And then the interview, or can be said, Dr. Baumiano, or you know, to say angel, as if say fano. But on information or one on to me found to public. But our count authority say there is nothing going on now, Dr. Baumianya way.
Okay.
It's not directly in the anger towards Dr. Baumiano. Because on upper public abeka said, Omunya campaign of decency. Wait to me, we are coming sort near the no. Wakati and Crawford so Omunyai. And on one so leadership by example. But Ofi said the other side, Baumia in any at their sharing Crawford.
Okay.
Aha, and way back no ababeka, way back no ababeka, and all geared towards young provoking. As we did the last time and now, last minute, or containing one's election day, he had to explode on the election day. What me I say, or a day to. And they said that was that was the election day, the first part of the election. The election was in two parts. Before the super delegate way, exploded over there. And outside we Jude, maybe just 1 month, and say on personal the campaign, the message be will be of farmer delegate. But I dare say, said, before your problem, baby, I won't lie. Because we share all the parameters, all the issues, they favor Honorable Ken. Ghanaians are saying, say, Honorable Ken, most people are not MPP members, but they don't mind voting for Honorable Ken. So as a party,
they don't mind.
I don't even understand human beings sometimes. And I delegate now, so crown, I feel say, Anna, baby, now, so no. Who say Omodogano say it should still be personal issues. Somebody will ask the question and say, Marco elections as delegate several times. They be about no Omachicheska. What at all do they do for you and your family? Are you getting my point? It's the same situation. Now, one would himself honorable Kenya and Adam yat what in same kakra for so many years, Wow. On one kasa as a person has been involved in several businesses. On the year President Krano, on one kasa as an individual. What you mean here, Nyoma Kasia, at least we can behold with the eye. Oh, Oko 37 say, if for nothing at all, cry, Obia me personal. No, akoye bibi mo kolebuni ade. Such is a person what can several times say, or the no who, or the no bar for ye. Or to know where see or the no about for there. I'm a kind number. Sisi somebody was say no. Nkrumah, he believes in Nkrumah. And your man Nkrumah no. The die as soon as say, oh no, more.
Because I think that I don't know. I've heard some very senior MPP for who said that was a blow to MPP because MPP near UP tradition, completely opposite in Nkrumah vision. And it's a wow, yeah. Okay. Council member, to council member, hey, Brabby, I know about him. I'm ball up. The people who are saying such thing, Baumia is not the best candidate for MPP for 2028. What do you think? Who between Ken and Baumia, from Alan perspective? Why now did this second? Because I did before the end, say, NDC 1 term, you cry NDC 7, 1 year, no cry NDC a fairly portal. Now, Prezi Nanado say, oh, you savior, we catch us and Nanado. I disagree, Kakra, because Nanado in Nabai was not without mistakes. There were several mistakes. You went here, but between who can rescue MPP from opposition? Why?
With the man saw question now, who can you know about no say my ball up near you? And this is by when your position because you're maintaining car. I was
I know, me just okay opposition.
Yeah, channel pa.
Yeah, channel Canada. You know again, no, when you
me say in my personal opinion, and like I always say, me I'm with Alan Chamatin. I have my reasons. I am still with Alan Chamatin. I know that should be a seven.
Even they say I want a new party, you are still with Alan Chamatin.
Since if you're political parties, they are just vehicles.
Okay,
they are just vehicles. And to me, in my perception, the leadership counts. So, because as remember, Casa somewhere from 2023, the leadership counts. And see, if you study the political parties now, if you are someone you've been around for a long time, almost the difference is beyond said anymore. I remember that who say when we are social, when we are trust me, political parties no difference beyond said anymore. And the leadership counts. And coming back to your question now, say NSA is a would see you're Canadian Japan. It looks as if he's been listening to my boss Alan Chamatin on industrialization power.
Okay.
Because in the Casa Yemu and in the BBR first, now he will make statements, may you say, but he say who the customer. I said, what say the mechanics of the industrialization? I said, and to me, Zabia or yeah, at this
oh, you know, Ogosugu Alan, so they be a man and two for
yeah, exactly. Because for someone like me, and they may be sound on the appeal to me. So on the mention. And Jabiananka and Caneno, Sankabiana said the honorable Kennedy, and the politics, and Tibia Cran and Mamaya uncomfortable. The kind of messaging as say no or they to people like me is very appealing to my ears.
Okay.
So on the mention. I'm not saying that me Ebia me kwakotwa ama honorable Kennedy Japan. Like I said, me the baby jina baby jina or Alan Chamatin. But looking at the two, say honorable Kennedy Japan and Dr. Baumiade, me trust honorable Kennedy Japan more. Say Nema all can obey me aye. Because we've all listened to Yera Laji Baumia from 2008. Wakan Simpi. And I'm not trying to be denigrating then someone can but yeah, Lord, let's just inform me to
I just have to answer that question. They say Baumia was just a mate to Nanado. And then Yamani baby, no, you ain't him, Sana Gabi, no cry, do baby more power chain Baumia. Can Foyata Baumia Nakasa can by 11 and Baumia. Other people have also supported say no Baumia was against 11 as cabinet. But Nanado and Tiano Muchifa no Suma can Foyata, Koya Nadia. And I don't answer that question. They said no, he was only a mate. And he should be believed because then you know you're in charge.
I think they are trying to insult our intelligence. Honestly. So you'll be what take the inner workings of MPP politics now. Yes, I'm not saying that na can offer gabi more any some kind of influence. But so the catcher me say na you're a large baumia just a meter that you are insulting my intelligence because they say no be bia papa wo na papa ewo you're a do abembia no a large baumia is claiming it. Intimate, you are claiming say, but when it comes to the force and MPP not who you meet. Also, if you name him say you refer to a giant buying the share in the bid to make you the leader of MPP. Emma, she said, even and some people have told me as a worker, but you say it's not a bit money, so. It's not a bit more innovative ideas. So, it's said, you're Alan Chamatin. Just said the way will be leading government.
Okay.
It's exactly. Wouldn't you be a show on that? You jai be a show on someone now manage economy. Lectures. You can't say what you say. Now, that's a name on who you or say, nah. Mate. I mean, I think that's a bit of an insult to intelligence. Or say, you're bold, not or accept the mistakes. I think say can be called statistic one by now. No, and a lot of people accepted an apology, accepted the name some all kinds of saying. But I said, one person will accepted the mistakes. I know they're not who you meet. It made them more. All of these things when it comes to elections I'm sorry, I'm brought from the door. So I said, trustworthiness is very important. It is the trustworthiness skill and I think the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong trustworthiness skill or the skill also very, very high as compared to Alhaji Bawumia. And if for someone like me, I don't mean share propaganda ne political strategies. I say minim said you see a certain agenda. We have done it. It means animal and it doesn't faze me. And if I'm looking at them, I'm looking at their trustworthiness and the messaging on what they must say. They say, Alhaji Bawumia, what is the message? What is the message? Even in their internal politics, but just say message by pan and say Alhaji Bawumia at the 12. What is the message?
What kind of message? What kind of leadership? What kind of job creation? What kind of digitization? Those are his messages.
What are the mechanics? Job creation or say job creation? They don't obey or the job creation.
I think I know the digitization or Matimumda, but I say it should be at the top of everybody's head.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So it says, "Ufa honorable Kennedy upon message in all year. Anya want to shake crown. Ubekai or say eternal deben obey say I want one cash and Ubekai or say northern region there. The 5 northern regions, more arable lands, obey agriculture deben obey move the agri ministry to the northern region. These are things that people can relate to. And as a metese obi to say honorable Kennedy upon kasa na mijinidi because you look to be able to put someone on a high skill, on a trustworthy skill, no, or shed the wire in the past. Or shed the castle bay. The wire, they even one castle bay and a crown of the oye.
And between Ken and Bawumia, no for still no. Ken is more winnable a candidate for 2028 than Bawumia.
If you are selling Ken to the Ghanaian marketer, Ken is more viable. To use quote unquote is not a word, but to the Ghanaian populace than Alhaji Bawumia. There's no two ways.
Because I'm the issue of religion. Because 2024 elections, so religion was a very key issue. Anything I'm Mahama so for the United almost a go Mahama so the way any a double so any because thank of one said and you're comfortable with ceremony. Okay, said Reverend Bishop also answer. Text message you'll be revealing on a soft on the platform when they were saying yempecremony, religion. Let's see what that 2028 no religion so ebe play role say Christopher beto ama Bawumia na no ani kremo for no class beto ama na.
So when we are looking at that we have to look at it in relation to the opposition parties. On the 2028
But even within the MPP, no, there's also a perception say even Ken also appeal to Nkremofo. Because I say maybe Ken omo man Nkremodin because some say do sala. Or yeah, do ya man Nkremofo ni bebre or show omo man ni ade. So that's also within even internal politics. That is also playing some role. Omo ko around that. Me tis omo so omo Ken also and for with the delegates.
If not for anything, right? Even so by the Ubreki, the 2024 elections in the down. To me, who said the fact that we are Muslim, no interest you appeal to all Muslims because if I'm not mistaken, President Mahama ABT Alhaji Bawumia in majority of the Zongos and in the Muslim communities. Even the Muslim for your friend is saying Alhaji Bawumia, Muslims no crown and Tuama Alhaji Bawumia. It's on the metro. And she said when on the question of religion, whether they play a part in the 2028 elections now. I feel like it depends on the candidates that are presented from the
NDC society,
NDC, UP plus, and they kick out. I mean, NDC and UP plus in free. And this everyone is for instance, if you present to say the current Minister of Education, Haruna Idris, as NDC candidate, Nasa offer Alhaji Bawumia as MPP candidate. In my opinion, I think Alhaji Bawumia has an upper hand over Haruna Idris Because let's not, I say,
Among the Muslims or general public,
general public, and the reason is,
okay.
I say, whether we like it or not, religion plays a part in politics. But you be a friend of the undercurrent of politics because people are not very comfortable talking about it outwardly. But so okodru ballot box anymore. A horn and a religious comes into play. I can give you several examples. Even prior to the 2024 elections, me call sorry me modi and Sofupenyi bi edi nkomo. Sofupenyi no which is just or MPP niema okay say yes pe alaji ba omi asem but enya dia ye beto amana. And most of the time when it comes to religion, it's not say be a Christopher and it's about relatability.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay.
why not me feel say ne because say you can't be forming the principles are principles a whole lot of things and that's an ideology and they're coming together to form the person's ideology and that's the way we see I and neighbor. So I mention and to say maybe a Christian that's me feel say it be the kind of ideas and I say and we believe in I cannot relate her and no be a mame and to abana yet because they be a nipano as a person and na mempen as a minya a bobakman tell you or you sue example be say young fan say oh call Ghana populace no a monkey sanctuary and I will call monkey sanctuary now wakoko try say ube pleasy monkeys na e wo ho yen fan say Ghana for na monkeys na say oh orange na say oh banana de hin and na
yeah
it becomes a very uncomfortable topic for us say but whether we like it or not Ghana is a 71% Christian nation. And if you are to pay attention to the relatability a lot of people feel more comfortable say obetuama nipa on the same things edi and to say monkey sanctuary young fan say Ghana na monkey sanctuary na majority of the monkeys banana banana any orange adentina or the orange monkey sanctuary knowing very well say bananas and the best seller was our monkey sanctuary. This is the argument that some of us made when we're in Cremoni ain't mean the president of Ghana. But sometimes you have to look at it. And I made example be say, you don't find yourself what for Haruna do so a Muslim. What for Baumia, honestly a Muslim. The same religion. Then you have to look at other variants that come into play. It's the reason why because they offer those heads now. Dr. Baumia what advantage Kakrani said. Dr. Baumia, some way, somehow, fraternizes with the Christian community more than Haruna Idrisu. And in that sense, no mumi no head to head, no. Me feel say Dr. Baumia ebeti maybe Haruna Idrisu. Flip it. Okofa obi to say Honorable Chief of Staff. I will also say Julius Debra. Not say Odena compare if friend is saying Alaji Baumia. That's relatability quotient never come into play. And it is not say a Christopher and Cremofasem, and I say a Christopher and Cremoni be the president. Cremoni be the president of Ghana, but there are a lot of factors that come into play that will be a friend undercurrent of politics. Nipa be Rebecca just oh, they are lying to you. We have been around. But this is what happened in the 2024 elections. Mahama Jina assemblies are all preachy and the people were not seeing the effect that it was having on the general public. Because MPP I mean cassette obi say sister if you saw him say I was on the ground doing campaign but research at the same time. On the ground and kasa. Me kotoma baumia. Baumia even though say me MPP not because they be on pet baumia but on to me related in certain aspects. Say be on JDMG, on say to the so fear kakrebi or in some like
the fear of unknown.
That's it. Wesley Girls and Samia Abbey. If you look at the commentary, it speaks to exactly what I'm saying. They are not comfortable speaking out. But only
I know.
kasa one
I
on
know.
one, they will tell
Yeah.
you their fears. For instance, say Wesley Girls issue Ekosi. And if you look at the commentary that came from Honorable Muntaka, the commentary that came from the Minister of Education, as I said, Yateki stance. Until many obi din komo ka say, hey, na your friend is saying, Haruna in the president in Po.
And all you say.
What take stance already? Someone said,
the Christians need be that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. As a Ghana for to be an natural. You say you beka no credit. No credit so Ghana koka. We because they be a one pen cream for us and I said no. But you have a 71% country that and 71% Christian people in a country. Now present a Muslim candidate against a Christian candidate. Also, who said already know off the back, you are disadvantaged. Mami Famra NPP primary is not main fancy. One of the reasons why a mami if Philly said Honorable Kennedy to say was another advantage. Yeah, mame Honorable Natoshi. I fraternize a lot with the Christian Society. I soft one and I soft many pages to be fine. Later back the reason why I sure. But Honorable Toshi is very liked by most of the senior-most pastors in this country, Ghana.
You
have no idea. And it's because of the kind of relations that she's had with them over years. And yet,
okay.
It's no joining Kennedy campaign. And I'm say, hey, the other side. You have no idea. There are no campaign or about any and this campaign. The real effect is not even being seen yet.
Okay.
And as a religion doesn't play any role. Maybe more it's make research. I mean, people can do whatever kind of pose that they like, but busy me could drew ballot box in my who's or your press be. A honor bekai say or your Methodist ni. A honor bekai nan wasem bia isi wo Wesley Girls. And they said there obi isi react and the kind of commentary it be a free side be about. Yeah. I think that religion plays a very
because the religion issue no so there a very very critical issue pa. But our question my member when you said between the two of them as man am busa Juna. Omu dia na ojiri so betimi win pa because they have people for that down. And this is in charge. Last week, now make a big friend, minister, former minister, big friend, I don't know. MPP for that from now, punch you. I'm saying, pen of credit. May kind of credit match them. NDC has been so strategic. They are in charge on air, online, underground, on the sea, on the water, everywhere. They are in charge. Moluzugab, you got 8 years and you messed up. In the end, you'll be a fault. I was a kind of credit. I'm not homework here. And to me, Busa, question between Omutu, no, why no bet me at the power MPP for which is what they are targeting anyway.
Obviously, say honorable Ken. Now, before I proceed, me use this opportunity to educate Ghanaians kakra. I think Ghanaians would be pretty much unfair to the MPP as a party. If they continue to go on that tangent, especially over social media. There is a need for every Ghanaian, every citizen to appreciate the fact that MPP as a party, what may I say, has been formidable, they've been instrumental, they've been helpful to this country. Now, if you want to do analysis of the Ghanaian political terrain, then there's a need for us to disassociate some element of the regime of Nana Akufo-Addo, okay, and separate that from the MPP as a party.
Okay.
There was a very, 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 very big gap, okay, and distortion within Nana Akufo-Addo's administration. Indirectly, affected or no the family, and then also MPP as a party. Not until Ghanaians see it from that angle that MPP as a party is a very strong party. MPP as a party has been very helpful and instrumental towards the democracy of this country, especially coming from the heels of Kufuor.
Date means some more time on there.
Yes. To the extent they say everybody thought the same Nana Addo will continue in that spirit to maintain the MPP as a party. Unfortunately, Nana Addo he never listened to anybody. And even the party folks, all the party gurus now, they all help to make MPP a formidable and a better place party. Most of them were even sidelined. Majority of them.
Nanado, yes, I get MPP as a party. Your point is
Nanado, yes. So not until Ghanaians separate the two instances. Say Nanado ni regime. And indirectly affected MPP as a party. They will lump all of them together and blame MPP as a party, which is wrong.
Lawyer, but
MPP,
so the Biamicano is the fair show so from 2023 and Nana Dubai no be a party in the next personal party. Internet new patriotic party na not all running. And that is exactly what the problem is. It's a new patriotic party, then a formidable party. If you look at the new patriotic party of John Agyapong Kufuor, it is nowhere close or in resemblance to the party now Nana Kufuor Eberane.
Okay. Now just say in the MPP mo be to me and stopping Nanado.
Exactly. If you will show you so we're always advocating leadership, being found because I be affected and nobody was listening. Offer Minister of Interior, Obesha was 8 years. Minister of Defense, 8 years. Minister of Communication, Kase, Masa, ye changes kakra and benefited the other key members of the party. Nana say on theater. And the body language, so we place it on one personal family members at certain key positions within the government, are untouchable. To the extent to say, even within the blessed people in the party now, they were MPP. In their numbers. Eba public said no. Yeah, diplomacy behind the scenes. Obia is not listening to us.
Yeah. You
see, at least Ghanaians are saying, say, change, won't change you, because change you can operate. I was so shocked. Say, even with the plea and then demonstration of the MPP's own MPs, still Nanado didn't listen to them. Meanwhile, indirectly, Nanado was also performing in some sectors, so he was doing well. But because your personal issues, most often than not, took a center stage, cancel all the good things you were also doing from the other side.
Yeah.
And now you're saying, what I say, and he didn't want to listen to anybody. So in the end, all the innocent MPP members, MPP opinion leaders were rendered, in quote, useless and powerless. And so, about say, blame me on me. The social media, they are lumping everybody together. They are not now attacking Nanado because the regime, that's a sad aspect. Nanado is never affected in any way. The body obey in Baumia na Wajia Suya first.
And Baumia candidate and in a campaign struggle because he had
of course, that's the main factor. Of course, that's the main factor. Nanado no way before, and omode eco punish Dr. Baumia. And Dr. Baumia no so no. Instead of Nkobe blaming Nanado, whilst Nanado was in power. I quite remember they said on 3 occasions, or resigning because Yayan is in Papeni. Did you get it? He didn't have a voice.
Even when Nanado was in power.
Exactly, yes, on 3 occasions. 3 occasions. And if you didn't like,
it's not true. It's not true.
But anyway, that is the perception out there.
Or a co-pilot.
No, within it, he may be a co-pilot, all right. But he had challenges. Honestly, he had challenges.
co-pilot.
Yeah, but you questions so much and about me also was serious challenges even within government.
Challenges. Yes.
About their fault.
Even
Which was evident.
Krano had serious challenges within his own government. It's a people will agree on everything, but let's say not on your co-pilot.
Let me give an instance. Let me give an instance. The e-levy issue was number one problem that brought MPP down. What may I say? It is on record that Dr. Baumia was against the e-levy. It is on record that Dr. Baumia as a person didn't support the imposition of e-levy on Ghanaians. These are some of the practical challenges that he had. But you see, it or not, like you said, he was the co-pilot. But honestly, about the vice president in Ghana, dear, from our history, with the exception of only His Excellency JM, well, in the history of Ghana, JM Kwana as a vice president would do on any this country. Apart from JM, any single.
Hello, Council. Okay, Council is not to call. But I think that to be fair, what all of you are saying about me, say the Council do defending they say, oh, nyani nyina na osi this one. But munyina mo diatum said there's also a certain level of accountability that he must accept. Say being part of Nanado Abai and not just being part as a co-pilot. No, he a move here there he will be answerable to certain things.
Is if you're not coming in say conversation way crack Quebeco and come on one videos beba or can't say
videos.
yes a kufado a giant mine a man no ashan himself. He's the most luckiest vice president.
But
and the Kufado was doing all of this. Said the bear obetimi aside stepo Alanchamate. Baumia noa and numasem. He Kufado engineered everything. What was your giant minor sir? One or can you? One or can say you are the luckiest vice president because who president technically we were giant or minor shalonsa. Ojai or minus share on sana and I'm free NDC for not the exchange rate was around $1 to 4 cities. School fees now is $1 to 17.4. And no, they will say na me running mate. It's not me your mate. I mean, that's where I get very, very upset, and I feel like it's an insult to the intelligence of Ghanaians. It's a nipper ways pre-beam set up a source I be or mine anymore. Under no circumstance should he even be given the chance to go near the presidency again. He had 8 years at the presidency as a co-pilot.
Okay, very well.